that. Welcome back to the microphone, Les Binkhurst.
Thank you very much, young Steve. Yes, oh, look at that. I no sooner walked out and said, I think we'll get the call within 5 minutes, and then I heard,
about
I walked
5 seconds.
Yeah, it started up. Oh, once got Henry in that trusty utility. I haven't seen Bruce yet, old greyhound. Here's the, something's firing up down there. Anyway, so look, we've done. The guys have done a fantastic job in drying the track out, or getting the moisture out of the surface. So we'll be back to racing up just after a few burnouts and a few runs. It should be nice and warm.
Yeah, there's Bruce Ritchie just pulling into the burnout box, and Spikak in the black Holden Utes dialed in with a 12.14.
That's quick for a, you know, sort of, it looks bog standard, but I don't know what it's got under the hood. It might be supercharged, I don't know. It might be an LSA, it could be even an LSX, you wouldn't know. 6.3 litre. Well, I know it's a LS3. There you go, Bruce is in. Now just, oh, gee, I tell you what.
He bumped straight in, double bowl him, did he?
Yeah. Now just waiting for Henry to go in full stage. Gee.
In there now, the tree counts down for Spikak first. He's away with an 0.27, and the suspense
Yeah,
got
killed
to,
him.
got to Bruce Ritchie, left the big red light hanging on the tree. Spikak's going to run on through for a solo win, 12.19 with a 5 on his 12.14.
Yep, so greyhound just pack up there. He'd be really, really mad at himself. That's why he backed off. A lot of guys keep going through and run anyway, but greyhound's probably a bit despondent. But anyway, accolades to Henry Spikak for the win. That's what it's all about. On to the next round. It should be the drag racer's cry. David Matasevic from Bringelly in the Rocket Lane up against Richard Matasevic. So it's a bit of a family affair here.
Family affair. We've got the yellow utility dialed in with a 10.55. Taking on the black Cortina dialed in with a 10.91. This little 302 in the Cortina is no slouch to run in under 11-second pass. Oh, that's 2 red lights in that lane in a row. 001 green there for Richard Matasevic in the utility. He would have been tough to beat, I think, nonetheless. Yep. And he's going to test the dial and goes 10.59 with a 4 and a 10.55.
400, yeah. That's pretty good.
So we're going to see Spikak take on Richard Matasevic. Pair of Utes in the final.
Yep. Oh, yeah. That's right. 2 yellow and a black one. Okay. Next one out in Extreme Bike. We're moving on very smartly here, young Steve. Deanne as a party from Londonderry, as a party Earth Movie, and in the as a party race team, Suzuki GSXR 1000 and Extreme Bike, so there's no dial in. Oh, gee, she's getting going. 8th mile at 5.95, pretty quick, runs it through at 9.27 at 145 miles per hour. 145, not bad. Oh, we've seen the next pairing out. Leonard's absolutely at home on that bike. He loves it. Now, he's our second fastest qualifier. Alex Borg, the youngster in the team there, he's come in and he's blitzed him. He's had a really good day today. Topped it off with a 7.119 at 208. Let's see what the result in this. Heads up racing. They're off. Oh, the fortunes have changed. 6.93 at 212. 212 miles an hour for the captain of the team, Leonard as a party. 212 miles an hour and a 6.93. Alex Borg there, 11 12, he bunted off just after half track. Unrepresentative pass. But nonetheless,
all right, moving into top sportsman, Les.
Sportsman, yeah.
We've got Dave Whitmore.
Moving right along.
Dave Whitmore in the Chevy Nova, running for Grant's Performance. Dialed in with an 812, taking on Paul Partridge from Arcadia Vale in the BK Race Engines Coating King backed Ford Mustang. Paul has been very tough with this car all day long, as has Dave Whitmore.
Yeah, he's had a few, well, they both had very, very strong passes. Some of them, I don't know, when you get at this level of racing, I don't know what you call a decisive win, especially when one dials in at a 791 and the other one dials in at an 812, but that's the case here, in which David Whitmore will get the handicap start. His time is slower. Oh, nothing in it here at the start line. An 022 for Partridge and an 027. It looks like Partridge will get their first runs, a 793 with a 0 on a 791 at 158 miles an hour. David Whitmore with an 027 reaction time and an 812 dial-in runs, an 816 with a 4.
I tell you what, there's neither of those races doing anything wrong.
Wrong. It's 0.003 of a second between the two reaction time. 024 and an 027.
Even off their dial-ins, it didn't look didn't look too bad.
Very good. Stephen Fowler now in the rocket lane. So, one of these two will be going into the final round. So, Heracles Kazantzidis from Greystones, Casmic Interiors, the Holden Commodore, running a Chev 572. It's probably one of those orange-topped engines that's got the big Chevrolet signs on them. They're really, really good, neat rocket covers. They look fantastic. Running in the Holden Commodore, as I said, with the Chevy 572, also sponsored by Pro Racing and West End Performance. Stephen Fowler, Fowler Family Transport, that Pontiac GXP, running a Chev 762. I think the biggest engine that a GXP came out with was a V6 at around about 2.7 litres, I think. That was my recollection from the US. Beautiful shape. Beautiful shape. So, so we'll see here an 809. So Heracles in the Aeroflare lane will get the handicap start. But you watch that Steve Fowler. They both cut good lights.
055 on the tree for Kazantzidis, 021 there for Fowler in the rocket lane. Here comes the GXP. Will he get around him at the bottom end?
Yeah.
He does. They both break out. Fowler got there first, went 690 with a 7 on a 691 to take the win. Kazantzidis also broke out, but he didn't get there, Les. He didn't get there first.
No, he didn't get there first, and his breakout was a lot greater than Steve Fowler's, so the computer works it out and then it throws it to the winner. The eventual winner out of that tussle was Steve Fowler, so he's also into the final. So there's your finalists. Peter Brown now. We're moving on to Timic Hot Rod Supplies modified eliminator bracket, running here at the Sydney Dragways 2022 New South Wales Championships. Peter Brown, dialed in with a 758, A modified dragster, running a Chevy 540, up against Craig Davies. Now, Craig's just a little bit slower. He's got an A modified dragster, but he's chosen, it's got a smaller engine. It's only 385 cubic inches as opposed to 540, and it is a front engine. But here we go. Craig Davies will get the start. Gets out with a red light. Look at Peter Brown.
So where's your book? That's about 4 we've seen today, isn't
it? Yeah. Oh!
Pete Brown with a 000 reaction time. He takes the win with a 7:59. And next pairing up will be Kelsey Walford-Lay in the T bucket, dialed with an 887.
What's the date today? The 20th?
All right, so Walford Lay dialed in with an 887 in the dark green and gold altered, taking on Lee Harder-Law in the yellow Roadster, dialed in with an 802.
Yes.
Harder-Law running for Prestige Air Conditioning and Electrical, BK Race Engines. Both races in pre-stage now. This is for a shot into the final. Walford away with an 075. Harder-Law slightly better with an 030. Here comes that 27T.
Yes.
And Harder-Law gets it, goes 804 with a 0 on an 802 dialing, 166 mile an hour. Walford goes 889 with a 6 on an 887.
Yes. So it'll be, whoa! Debbie sort of got a bit sideways down there.
Just a wee bit.
Yeah.
You can see the whole side of the car.
Yeah. So it'll be Lee Harder-Law and Peter Brown in the final of modified. So that should be a good tussle. Oh, Lee Harder-Law, he's come on gangbusters with that driving that car. Looks good. It always looks good too. So we got Debbie Robb. That was her that got a bit crossed up at the burnout. Runs for Multi-Quip in the Ford XB Coupe, running on Ford 528. Dialed in at a 918. 918 is quicker than 1015, which is what Pat Firiolo in the lane alongside has dialed in. He'll go first. He'll get the handicap start. Debbie Robb to do the chasing. So this will be interesting. This is Service. Whoa!
Oh.
Wow! It did exactly the same. Exactly the same.
It did, and it's hit the very corner of the concrete there, I think, with the door and the front of the mudguard,
Wow.
unfortunately. I saw something just pop up there, so...
Wow. What?
Pat Friolo takes the win with a 10.25 at only 105 mile an hour. Had an 0.44 light.
Well, that's the closest I've seen since I've been here on that side that someone's gone towards the tree. I did see Lindsay Churchill when he ran up the rail here,
yep.
up the concrete wall on the Rocket Lane side. All right. Martin Stevenson and Bill Osling. It's not quite the semi-final for Super Sedan. We've got 5 cars left. So we'll see Pat Firiolo will be into one portion of the semi-final. Oh, we've got 6 cars left. Leo Georges is still in. Now, Bill Osling in the Rocket Lane, dialed in with an 874. That's pretty quick. Martin Stevenson in the panel van, 1062. He'll get the handicap start with an 060 and an 060. This is double identical
reaction time, so it'll come down to whoever's closest to the dial-in. Here comes that Chevy Camaro, a lot more aero than the wagon. And Stevenson, he's gone too fast, 10.59 with a 5, handing the win back to Bill Osling. Stevenson got there first by about a tenth of a second. But just went too fast, handing the win back to the Camaro.
Oh, he'll be really kicking himself.
Osling through to the semis.
Harry Plessis from Milperra in New South Wales in that distinctive blue Ford XW GT Falcon. Boss 351, that goes hard for a Boss if it's still a 351. It runs really hard. Dialed in at a 911 up against Leo Georges. Leo from putting down Long Beach as his residence for this meeting. Ford Escort panel van running a Chevy 400. Dialed in at a 921. 921 is slower than 911, so that the little flying carrot will get the handicap start. Harry Plessis in the big blue Falcon to do the chasing.
just lifting the wheels on both cars. 0.80 the reaction time for Georges in the Escort.
Gee,
0.13
look at this.
for Plassis. Plassis should be taking the win. I hear one of the cars dancing with the throttle. I think it might have been Plassis. 917 with a 0 on a 911. He's going to take the win. Move into the next round of racing there for Harry Plassis. Leo Georges done for the day with a 928.
9281, yeah. Oh well, that was a good drag race, and so that was the quarterfinal. And so I think we've got 3 cars in the semi, and then out of that will be the 2 combatants for the final. Glenn Garlick from Illawong, New South Wales, street fighter. He's done really well, Glenn has today, and he's holding Commodore 5.7 litres, so it's not a big banger. You know, a 6.60 or a 6.2 or a 6.3, whatever they've got in those Chevrolets. The Chevrolet motors, I should say. It's still a Holden. And Don Zammit, the Holden VT Commodore station wagon. So that's a pretty quick car too. Oh, an 0.44 from Don Zammit. He dialed in at 13.10. And Glenn Garlick a 13.22, so there's not much difference between them. But I'd say by the Don Zammit is tapping the picks, and he runs it through for a 13.30 at 96.71, and Glenn Garlick on his 13.22 runs a 13.31, but his reaction time was 0.234.
And Alan Stevenson in the HQ Ute. Lucky enough to get the solo into the next round. I think he's just going to take the tree, and that'll be it. Roll on through. Feels that he doesn't need to check the dial in.
No. 14 flat.
Just cruising on down the aeroflow lane.
Is that little device in the little Frog's Hollow down there, is that a sort of a microphone or something down there? Because you can hear it. They take off from here, you can hear it, but as it approaches the halfway mark, the sound comes in again. And I thought there might be another.
I'm not sure where the microphones are.
So there's Greg Fowler, he's in. Yeah. Lee Hartle-Law, he's in. Modified eliminator.
So we're all finals except for Super Sedan, I think.
Yep, well, it's Lee Hartle-Law up against Peter Brown in the final of modified.
Yep, as I say, we're at the pointy end for all the categories, I think, except for
Super Sedan.
Super Sedan, the only one that they've got to run a semi.
Yep.
And then they're up to the finals as well. So it's been a good days of racing, Les. We've had plenty of action.
Oh, it's been terrific. You know, the closeness, and I can't believe the 000s. I forgot all about them. I didn't write them in the book.
Well,
I could go through that.
We've had one race, a 2-2, and a 001. So
yeah, that was that Mustang.
Yep. So it's been a fantastic day's racing here so far at Sydney Dragway. Of course, if you like what you've seen today and want to come back for tomorrow's race meeting, the Aeroflow Sunday sessions, we'll be here from 10 till 4.
Yeah, well,
or thereabouts.
And as Steve pointed out earlier, you know, like if you have the urge and, you know, like sometimes you say, oh, my car's not as quick as that. Well, it doesn't have to be in a street meeting. I've been to that street meeting up at Brisbane that I went to at the Lakeside Raceway. The second quickest car there all day was a little Audi S3.
Yeah. RS3, they're actually a pretty quick car. They run
it was hot.
I think 10's pretty easy.
Yeah, that'd be about right. Yep. Of course, there were no times or no speeds, but you know, just the way that car went, gee, it was good. They had the lights, but nothing else. Okay, so we're in. Is this the final of Junior Drag?
It should be the final, Les. We've got Harry Rakio taking on Tegan Smith. Rakio from Albion Park. Tegan Smith also from Albion Park.
Oh. Musselbrook used to be the breeding ground for junior dragsters, but it's moved down to Albion Park now.
Moved south a bit.
Yes, moved south.
Rakio in the aeroflow lane. He's dialed in with an 8.05. Tegan Smith in the rocket lane. She's dialed in with a 7.97. So there won't be too much in this one between off the start line.
Oh, for sure, 8.05, 7.97. Gee, it's nothing, is it? You won't be able to pick the light difference between the two. Virtually come on as a heads up, but the computer knows what it's doing. But, okay. Tegan Smith, our number 3 qualifier, and Harry Rako, our number 6 qualifier. See, so you know you don't have to be the. They say, oh, that guy went such and such so fast last week. Well, that's all right last week. What about this week? And here you've got a young chap, Harry. He's come up through the ranks from number 6, and Tegan Smith is number 3 qualifier. Yeah, that did look cute, all holding hands down there in the Tegan Smith team.
Here it comes. 0.84 in the tree for Rakio. He has about a half a tenth up his sleeve. Out in front at the moment. He gets a double breakout. Got there first. Went 8.04 with an 8 on an 8.05. So he broke out by 2 thousandths. Tegan Smith went 7.95 with a 0. So she broke out by 2 hundredths. Trying to chase him down, making up the 5 hundredths lost on the start line.
So that's what. It was a reaction time race.
Yep, so margin of victory less than 2 hundredths of a second there. Your winner for round number 1 is Harry Rakio in the Western Weekender Junior Dragster race here this afternoon. Runner-up will be Tegan Smith.
Yeah, well, that's good to get runner-up. It was just while we move the tyres down at the bottom end down there. A lot of people say, top end at the top end down there, and other people say at the bottom end. Well, when you look at top and bottom, they're the opposite of each other. In drag racing, it's the same end. Anyway.
All right, so don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, concluding this, the racing here tonight, we'll host the trophy presentation in the scrutineering shed, usually about 10-15 minutes after the last car runs down the track. We'll get that set up and award trophies to all the winners and runners-up here today. So if you are lucky enough to be in the final, please come along to that trophy presentation.
Come along, yeah.
Collect your trophy. Thank your sponsors, thank your supporters, family, whoever you wish.
Yep.
And come along and collect your trophy. It'd be fantastic to see you in the scrutineering shed about 10 or 15 minutes after the last car runs down the racetrack.
Yep.
And Les and myself will
officiate.
Or Rusty will be down there to officiate.
Officiate, yeah. Yeah, good. No, we'll give it to Rusty. He hasn't done much here today.
Yeah, okay, I'll let you say that.
I've got to get back at it. Yeah, the flying carrot's still there. Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate for young Leo.
A top-notch run of finals. We've got Street Fighter, Street Bike, bikereview.com.au, Modified Bike, Go Logistics, Super Street, Super Sedan, Timmy Hot Rod Supplies, Modified Eliminator, and Top Sportsman, all to run the Super Sedan have their semis to run yet as well. So they're going to have a busy half an hour or so. They've got 2 runs to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whether you put them, run them last, give them.
I dare say that's what will happen. They'll probably be the last pair running down the racetrack. But all in all, I think so far today has been a good day's worth of racing. And
it's been a cracker. Like it's a pity that more of the spectators don't show the enthusiasm, as much enthusiasm as the those ones attending here at the moment. So great to see you hang around, and once again, thanks for your support in coming out here. Yeah, well, we've got a few more events coming up. It's as the season goes through the up and coming weeks and months. Sydney Dragway's got a fairly busy schedule, starting tomorrow with the street meeting, at which yours truly and his truly next to me will be spending the day with you tomorrow, and we encourage as many people as we can to come and participate. It's a real, I don't know, I call it, sometimes some people get brain shivers about things and some people get goosebumps. Well, I don't have a brain, so I don't know much about it. So, but it's, even for me, to go down and to come here and race at Sydney, I've raced a couple of times, but it's only been at the Christmas party. So we run up and down the track, and that's a great function. It's just a gesture put on by Sydney Dragway for the staff, and it's a great day. I really look forward to that as well. Unfortunately, I haven't been fortunate enough to purchase a race car or drive in any sort of capacity, but I don't mind. I've done a lot of other things. So, but if you're even thinking about it and saying, "Oh, gee whiz, I'd like to have a go at that," well, you can test your reaction, and then you never know. Like Buddha Zemet came out here. He's racing here today, and or he's in some sort of capacity as a team member. He came out here, and the first run he had, he got a triple light.
Yeah, no, he's been a regular racer here at Sydney Dragway. Look, Les, while we're just waiting for these cars to come back around, mate, we might just throw to the big screen for some words from our sponsors.
Great.
I've chosen to use VP Racing Fuel since I was a teenager racing motocross, which was 21 years ago now. I just have a really personal trust with VP Racing Fuels.
Running on the ragged edge of blowing up and not, a lot of it has to do with the race fuel, and that's what we rely on, VP Racing Fuels.
VP has been making racing fuel for 43 years. They're the official fuel of multiple top series globally. No matter where we are in the world, no matter what fuel we need, it's always consistent. It's always perfect and exactly what we're expecting and our tuners expecting. They support myself, my Drift Alliance bros, and for that, I'm extremely thankful. Keep making amazing fuels, and we'll keep out there having fun.
Here at Bespoke Financial Advisory, we specialise in
development finance,
home loans,
refinance, commercial loans,
insurance.
Introducing the brand new aeroflowperformance.com, featuring a new powerful search function to provide more relevant and accurate results. The new and improved menu increases speed and ease of navigation. Once you've found the right products, you will also find important information and specifications for your selection. Then, simply add to cart and proceed to checkout. Your Aeroflow Performance products are only a few secure clicks away. Try the new aeroflowperformance.com today.
Attention Eastern Creek. Are your finances in check? It's important, now more than ever. Bespoke Financial Advisory is one of Australia's leading financial experts. You'll not only save money, but you'll have a solid foundation to launch into future opportunities. Bespoke can help you with a home loan, refinancing, car finance, equipment loans, commercial loans and development loans. Book a free consultation today at bespokefinancialadvisory.com.au.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannon's.
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover,
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be
Shannon's.
Shannon's, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
We have these things pegged at 9,000 RPM for up to 50 laps, copping mud and debris.
As the crew chief, it's my job to make sure my wife Michelle has the safest and fastest car possible.
My customers want race car performance with show car looks.
From skiing to ocean racing, we run for over an hour at full noise. Quality and reliability is everything.
Doesn't matter what you drive, rotor, import, street, race.
These aren't your standard performance parts. Designed here in Australia, we've been involved in testing since the beginning.
The range started with a few hundred parts and has progressed to well over 10,000.
We need something that'll perform and outlast the competition.
That's why I use the best performance parts on the market.
That's why I use Aeroflow.
That's why we use Aeroflow.
Aeroflow's got something for you.
Bikereview.com.au is Australia's leading website for performance and modified motorcycles. Bikereview.com.au is the only motorcycle-focused website to feature motorcycle drag racing on a regular basis. And in the words of editor Jeff Ware, our involvement with Sydney Dragway is our way of putting back into one of our favourite sports. Bikereview.com.au.
Thanks, Benny. And now back to racing. I think I can hear a couple of motorcycles down there. Yes, I do. And a bit of bike action when Aaron Butterworth and Phil Gardner. This is street bike, and Aaron Butterworth on the RE Interceptor, Royal Enfield Interceptor. 650 cc's, Phil Gardner from Googong, just down there in sunny New South Wales by the Googong Dam. Yamaha XSR 900 triple. 900 triple. Yamaha's had a lot of success with triple barrels. So Phil Gardner in the Rocket Lane's dialed in with a 10.80. Aaron Butterworth's dialed in with a 14.63. So Aaron Butterworth in the Royal Enfield will get the head start, the handicap start. Phil Gardner, I think the Royal Enfield might, he's got a much better reaction time, an 0.12, and he does take it out. Wow, he's going gangbusters on this bike today. A 14.74 with a 6 on a 14.63 and an 0.12 reaction time. So he'll be in the final up against either Tristan Anderson in the Rocket Lane in the Royal Enfield International Twin 600. That's him in the Rocket Lane, and or Stefan Stavala in the Aeroflow lane. He's dialed in at a 10.21. Tristan Anderson's dialed in with a 14.20. So, it's time to have a cup of tea in between the start and by the time he takes off. But Tristan Anderson in the Rocket Lane will get the handicap start. He's slower than Stefan Stavala, so.
Anderson away with a 2, 3, 4 reaction times. Stafala with a 1.39. It's a small advantage. Can he convert that to a win? I'll tell you what, it's going to happen all in the last 50 metres of the racetrack. Stafala takes the win, goes 10.15 with a 6. Under the dial-in, but he went under by the lesser amount. So he'll take the win. Congratulations to Stafala. Next pairing up, we're going to move into bikereview.com.au.
Yes, with pits Sean Ricketts in the Aeroflow lane with a dial-in of 926, up against Peter Strudwick in the Rocket lane with a dial-in of 951. 951 is slower than 926. So Peter Strudwick in the Rocket lane will get the handicap start by 2 for half a light. It's virtually nearly heads up. I can't pick it with my lazy eye. But we've got the Harley V-Rod for Strudwick and the Kawasaki ZX12R for Sean Ricketts.
Ricketts has thrown it away on the start line, went 1,000s too early, but a red's a red.
Yeah, red's red. It doesn't change colour. It's not a chameleon colour. Wow. A 001 red light.
Peter Strudwick, your winner here for bikereview.com.au modified bike. He ran through with a 952 at 137 mile an hour.
I think that was a semi, wasn't it?
Nope.
No, final.
Final.
Oh, right.
As this will be a final 2. Battle of the utilities. Old versus new, Ford versus Holden, black versus yellow. I don't know what else.
Chrome bumper versus plastic bumper.
There you go, there's another one. That kind of ties into old versus new, but that's all right. All right, Richard Matasevic dialed in with a 1052. He's in the yellow utility running for Modern Style Kitchens, taking on Henry Spikak in the black Commodore Ute, dialed in with a 1217. He's been dialed in that figure pretty much all day, I think, for Spikak. Don't think it's very too much away from that. Let's see who will take home the W trophy. We'll find out in about 12 seconds. 038 on the tree for Spikak. 052 on the tree for Matasevic. So absolutely nothing in this one. Matasevic just in front at 1,000 and he converts it to the win, goes a 10.57 with a 6 on a 10.52 dial-in. Got there first by about 1/10 of a second, and Spikak, he just slowed a little bit at the finish line, went 12.25 with a 0 on his 12.17 dial-in.
Yeah.
Had the advantage on the start line, but couldn't convert that to a win.
No, he was, if you see the difference between the 60-footers between the two, Spikak seemed, yes, he did cut a very good light, but he wasn't, sort of travelling very fast when he did cut that light, and he took a bunch longer to get to the 60-foot than Matasevic did. So, this will be another good run as well. Alan Stevenson, this is for Street Fighter, up against Don Zammit.
Al Stevenson in the utility, running for Power Plus Race Fuels, dialed in with a 14 flat. Now, he had the luxury of testing the dial-in the, or the opportunity, I should say, in the semis to test the dial-in, but decided to just roll on through effectively. So let's see if that's going to work for him or against him. Of course, he didn't have to worry about putting more heat into the car, which Don Zammit had to do when he ran his opponent. 13.12 was the dial-in, or is the dial-in for the wagon in the Rocket lane. Oh, not too much in this one. 288 on the tree for Alan Stevenson. 269 on the tree for Don Zammit. He has the advantage by roughly 0.02 of a second. Will the wagon take it, or will it be the utility? It will be the wagon. Runs 13.39 with a 7 at 92 mile an hour on a 13.12. And your runner-up here tonight will be Alan Stevenson in that HQ utility. Yeah, he slowed quite a bit there, Les. He dropped to a 14.53. So I'm guessing that's why Zammit was able to drop off his dial-in as well.
Okay, so that's that's the final of Street Fighter done and dusted. So we've got a couple of more. We've just waiting for those other combatants to come around to the staging lanes. Well, it's been a very, I did need to bring the sunscreen, that's for sure. But other than that, it's been terrific here at Sydney Dragway. And we only hope that the weather continues to stay
Just needs
dry
to
tomorrow.
Hold off for another
half
an hour or so here tonight, and then tomorrow is another day.
No, tomorrow's another day, that's right. So, that's what I say. Yesterday is already gone.
Yes.
And tomorrow never comes. You know why? Because it doesn't end in Y.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Fair enough.
So, it's not a day called tomorrow. Well,
very philosophical for this time of the evening.
I sometimes get into these situations where I have to, I question my, I question my presence on God's dear earth.
Fair enough.
I think, what can I do? And people say to you, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? I said, look, I've done a lot of things, but the only really thing I want to do is I want to be a better man today than I was yesterday.
It's a fair point.
So, yeah.
If only more of us took that attitude. Looks like we've got a few more cars. In the staging lanes, and that is Super Sedan. I think they're round for. Well, that's Harry Plusses at least.
Yep, I can see a blue car.
Now they Super Sedan were up to their semis, so they've got actually this run and another round.
And another one, yeah. They've got 3 guys to sort out who's getting to run, who'll be the final pairing. So one of them has to miss out.
We won't be too far away from running those cars, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you very much for your patience, but just bear with us. These cars need a little bit of time to turn around, go through their pre-race checks, check the dial-ins. The driver's probably not even getting out of the car. The crew be running around doing all their bits and bobs between rounds. But of course, we need both competitors for each of those races to be in the staging lanes, of course.
Well, that was very fitting. Don Zammit was the #1 qualifier in Street Fighter, and he ended up winning the event for Street Fighter, and he should be pretty pleased with that. We've had Don's been racing for, he's had a number of cars, but he's been racing for a fair while. So always, he comes out here, enjoys himself. He brings, I don't know if they're family members and things like that, but gee whiz, they all seem to have a good time at the racetrack. Now, it would appear that we're going to have Super Sedan, and for the semi, we'll pit Pat Furiolo against Harry Plessis. So, someone's going to get a nice little run to, a solo into the final. So, we'll see who that is.
Bill Osling in the
Osling, that's right. I was trying
to think.
Chevy
Camaro. I just saw him go under the camera, so I'm guessing that's the 3rd car.
No.
Because it was 6 cars in that last round, so we're down to 3.
Yep.
So the final will be run between Bill Osling and whoever the winner of this race is.
Correct, Amundo. That's it. Right on the money there, Steve. Right on the money.
Someone would think that I know what I'm glad you think it, because sometimes I question myself. Big burnouts from both races. Friolo in the utility, he's dialed in with a 10.05. Plusses in the XW, as Les would say.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
And the W, he's a little bit quicker by around about 9/10 of a second. So he's a little bit of a wait there. There's 2 lights on the tree.
Yep. Each light is 0.4 of 1 second. I reckon it's much better when they went down to 0 instead of starting off at 0.4 at 400. All right, now. Oh, is this a staging duel? I thought I saw a staging duel between juniors down there before. Oh.
Plusses is trying to get in. Just go really shallow.
Yeah.
He's in there now. Just waiting on Friolo. 041 on the tree for Friolo. Plassis has left the 10th on the tree. He went with a 142. I think Friolo's going to take the win here in the utility. Oh, he was lucky. He got there first. He broke out, went 10.04 with a 9 on a 10.05 dialing. So broke out by 1,000 of a second. Plassis broke out as well. He went 10.05 on a 9.05 on a 9.11. But he didn't get there first.
No.
So Friolo got there first, but was only 1,000 under.
Well, it'll be the current racer that's down there at the start line, Bill Osling, up against Friolo for the crown or for the trophy, first and second. They just accepted the green, rolled it through. Yeah, some guys aren't sort of. All you have to do is accept the green. You don't even have to move.
No.
But some people say, "Oh, I can't remember if I have to move or not." So they move. That's what I'd do. I'd move every time.
Yeah.
There'd be something like a spider would run across the tree and trip the light, and it'd be a red light.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, I think he could pretty much do anything on a
Yeah,
side
on
and
it,
still
yeah.
win. And unless he decided to run the car and he crossed the centre line
or hit the
that's
wall.
a different thing.
Yeah.
Because it's a safety infraction. But Bill Osling, he'll be taking on Pat Friolo in that one-tonner in the in the final of Super Sedan, which will mean that Bill Osling's car won't have all the heat build-up that Friolo's just put into his car.
No, yeah, good point.
It's not just a matter of keeping the engine cool, it's a matter of all the gearbox and everything else, the rest of the drivetrain.
Yep.
Obviously, when you start running these cars back-to-back, they do build heat. They get the residual heat in the cars, and sometimes that hurts the way in which those mechanical parts operate.
Yep.
And you only need a little bit of variance on each of them, and then that adds up to a
sure
little bit of
does.
time.
Sure does.
Looks like the next pairing out will be the final of the Timmy Hot Rod Supplies Modified Eliminator, Les.
Yes.
And we've got Lee Hartle-Law in the yellow hot rod, dialed in with an 8.03. He's taking on Peter Brown in the gold dragster, dialed in with a 7.59.
Yeah, 7.59 is quicker than an 8.03 by just under half a second. So Lee Hartle-Law will get the handicap start. I think both of these guys have been running spot on. They're spot on today. Now, I said it in a couple of runs ago that this will be a reaction time because both these guys are really, really competent racers. I haven't seen a lot of Lee Hartle-Law over the last, sort of 18 to 24 months, but gee, he's run well today. He's sometimes, like his mum drives it on the odd occasion and does a mighty fine job as well. But this young fella, the youngster there, he's a really, really good driver. All he's proved it today. He's in the final. Peter Brown, well, he's just about as regular as the sun comes up, but every once in a while there is an upset, and this could be. I'm not going to say that it is going to be, but this is down to reaction time. So whoever gets off the line first and establishes some sort of lead. Oh,
yep,
look at
you're
that.
right. Picked it like a broken nose, Les. It was down to reaction times. It wasn't quite what you were thinking, though, I don't think.
No.
But 8.04 with a 5 for Lee Hartle-Law. He's going to take the win courtesy of a Peter Brown red light on the start line. He left the start line 0.22. Too quick. So 22 thousandths of a second. He jumped the start by, and that straight away handed the win to Lee Hartle-Law, who marched on through with an 8.04.
Yeah, and Peter Brown, I guess it was all over at the start, but he broke out by 9 thousandths of a second, so as well. So cop both ends of the stick. And congratulations to our winner, Lee Hartle-Law, and Peter Brown will be the modified runner-up for today. Okay, the next one I think is Top Sportsman.
Correct.
I thought it was Paul Partridge's car there. So yeah, he's in the final there. Gee, this will be good. 689 to a 790. Those for 1 second difference.
It's a big wait time for Stevie Fowler.
Yeah, it's 2.5 2.5 orange lights, yellow lights. Oh, Paul Partridge just been content not to do such a big a burnout. So he's dialed in a 790 and Steve Fowler a 689. So Paul Partridge has got a, well, I guess when you look at the size of the car, they're probably both the same. He's got a 604, a Ford Mustang. He's got a Ford 604 and Paul Partridge has got it in his car. Steve Fowler has got a Chevy 762 from Acadia Vale in New South Wales. Pontiac GXP versus a Ford Mustang. I like these Mustang shapes. A lot of people don't like them, but I think they're a sweet little shape.
Yeah, the GXP probably a little bit slipperier through the air though.
Yeah.
It's a courtesy of 20 plus something years of development, and of course the Mustang, basically a stock body shape. Let's see who can take home the winner's trophy. Will it be Partridge in the green Mustang, or will it be Steve Fowler in the Pontiac GXP? 028 on the tree for Paul Partridge, 003 on the tree for Fowler, and Stephen Fowler takes the win. 705 with a 705 with a 3, 168 mile an hour on a 689, and Partridge got there first, Les.
Yes.
But he broke out. Got there first by over 1/10 of a second.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah, 7.9 to 7.891. Yep.
Yeah, so Fowler,
wow.
Fowler lucky there that Partridge went too quick by 9 thousandths of a second. So I wonder if something went away a little bit there for Steve Fowler, because only 168 mile an hour. We saw that car touching nearly 200 earlier today. Like, that's a big speed to drop off, 30 mile an hour.
Yeah, well, recalling this, 7.891 is only 9 thousandths.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Steve Fowler. He's going to take home the winner's trophy here today.
Yep.
And Paul Partridge, the runner-up. As I said before, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget at the conclusion of racing here this evening, and we've only got,
must be,
I think, 1 or 2 runs left. Depends whether the Extreme Bike guys are coming out for a final. Not 100% sure on that. We've got Super Sedan, which we're just waiting on Pat Friolo to come back because Bill Osling is already behind the tower. We saw him just accept the green and roll back.
Roll back, yep.
Yep, so just that 1 tonner of Pat Friolo. I think that's the Extreme Bikes races I can see in the staging lane camera. They've pretty much rolled up on cue.
Yep. Gee, 003, gee, that's pretty good, isn't it?
It sure is, but Steve Fowler is a multinational championship winner for a reason.
Yep.
It's always been tough, whether he's in his Ford Capri, whether he was racing the Tomcat, which was the Fowler family, one of their first big cube cars, and then he was lucky enough to step into the GXP.
GXP, yeah.
When Greg was kind enough to let him drive it.
Well, there's a couple of guys that I thought would have been here that are not, namely Chris Corbin.
Oh, yes, in the Tirana.
And young Bennett in that.
Oh, Stuart Bennett.
Stewie Bennett, yeah.
I tell you what, he's got that car running very, very quickly nowadays.
Has he?
That twin-turbo LS power. I think he's into the 6.3s or something now. So certainly making plenty of power. I'm sure that I saw it down that fast. So one of the fastest LS powered cars in the world. So
yeah, well, when you're talking about the world, that's sort of some big feat because the availability of parts and knowledge over in the US if he's running up with them. And, well, some of the other guys out here in turbos are just as good as anybody in the US. They might, whether they be either here or up in Brisbane, they're known for those really, really fast, I call them sort of like computer, they call them computer cars in the US, but you know, the ones that hang around in Top Sportsman and Extreme, those guys with extreme tyre, when they get the, whether it's a 275 tyre or whether it's a 250 tyre or whatever it is, the big tyres and small tyres like they run on that Street Outlaws. So it sounds like the bikes in it should be
only two.
Young Alex Borg, and I guess it'll be Alex Borg and he's
three bikes because they're all
three. Oh, that's right. They're going on
all run format. So
yeah, round robin format or whatever.
Alex Borg going on the solo run here. And we've got Leonard as a party and Diane as a party will be the next pair. So not quite sure. I think this
what happened to young Foley?
Not sure. Not sure. He went 690. Then the next run he slowed to like a 730 or something like that from memory. Right. But I'd say that Leonard as a party and Diane will be the finalists in Extreme Bike. Borg just taking the opportunity to get some points. Nice and straight at the bottom end of the racetrack. Went 711 with a 6, 208 mile an hour. So that bike seems very happy around that low 200 mile an hour mark. 1, 2, 3 to the 60 foot.
You know, like sensational.
A nice clean pass there from Alex Borg.
Yeah.
You can see once the bike settles, it just builds speed from the boost is fully engaged, the wastegate's right open, and it just accelerates up to that 200 and something mile an hour speed. Yeah. Next up, as I said, Leonard as a party. He's in the airflow lane taking on his wife, Diane. Diane on a Suzuki GSX R1000. Running into the 9s with this machine. Around about 2.5 seconds slower than her husband's Suzuki Hayabusa. Leonard just loose a little bit, although Diane's going to come around him.
Yeah, she's going to take the win here.
Yep, that she does. 9-3-0 with a 9-146. And Leonard, he left the line reasonably aggressively, and the bike just got loose a little bit and just decided to let it go. And Diane takes home the winner's trophy. Runner-up will be Leonard as a party there in the aeroflow lane.
Yeah, good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that leaves, by my reckoning,
only Super Sedan final.
Yes, correct. There's one more pass left. And we're just waiting on, has the Friolo utility come back?
Oh, someone's coming. No, that's a bike type thing. Oh, no, that might be it there. No, no.
Bill Osling is at the head of the staging lanes. He's ready to go. Of course, he didn't have to worry about winning a semi-final run. He took the opportunity just to accept the start line, and that was it.
Yep.
But as I said, in around about 10 or 15 minutes' time, we're going to host the trophy presentation in the scrutineering shed. So if you're lucky enough to take home a winner or runner-up trophy here tonight at the New South Wales Championship Series at Sydney Dragway, come along to the scrutineering shed. Thank your sponsors, thank your families, thank all your supporters that allow you to come out and do this. And we look forward to awarding you with those ever precious trophies.
Yeah, well, that's what you know. Like it's to a lot of people, it's a reward at the end of the day for their efforts, and which is great. So this is this will be the final of Super Sedan. 2 worthy winners. They've fought off all the oncomers and ended up. This is the pair that we've ended up with, but in drag racing there must always be a winner.
Friolo is in the aeroflow lane, Les. He's dialed in with a 10.04 in the Austral Steel-backed HQ utility.
Yes, Bill Osling from Tamworth in New South Wales may have travelled down with the Robs, I'm not quite sure. But Bill Osling from Tamworth in New South Wales, the Tamworth Muffler Man in the Chevrolet Camaro. Now, I didn't see if it was a 67 or 68. 67's got a quarter vent window and a 68's got a full glass window. And the 68 also has little side markers on the side. Pat Firiolo in the HQ hold, 350. Dialed in with a 10.04. 10.04 is slower than an 878. So Bill Osling in the Rocket Lane will have to do the chasing. So Pat Firiolo will get the handicap start as soon as he moves in and brings up that second light. There he is. He's fully staged, both cars. Oh. The Pat Firiolo crewman down here, he's over the moon. Look at that. Firiolo goes through on his 10.04, runs a 10.05 and 131.61. Unfortunately for Bill Osling, on his 8.78, he ran a 9.72, but it was all over when he had that 009 red light. So there is your winner and runner-up, Pat Firiolo and Bill Osling. So Pat the winner and Osling will be the runner-up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attendance, your patience, and also thank all of those online that have provided all the comments and kept Rusty nice and busy. And I enjoyed listening to some of the comments, you know, from various places around the earth. But until tomorrow, when we return, we'll look forward to the races returning for round 2 of the New South Wales Drag Racing Championships here at Sydney Dragway, but they'll probably be under a new sponsor's name. So we'll be glad to reveal that on the day, and we look forward to your presence and attendance then. From me, Les Binkhorst, I'll say thank you very much, and give the final word to, on behalf of Steve and myself, I will say thank you very much, and we hope to see you back at the track again soon. Bye for now.